Hi, welcome to another video. This one today is going to be about kind of another side of budgeting and the debt snowball. I know I haven't posted a video in a while, and a lot of people have said that they're really interested in the whole like budgeting and Dave Ramsey thing. And so I, am trying to make sure that I keep making those. There was a recent change in my plans for next year. I had planned to stay at the same job in the same place, but I actually changed my mind due to some circumstances. And so I have been job hunting for about 3 or 4 weeks, but I got a job. I got offered a job on Friday, and I accepted the offer. And it's a good thing because it is a little bit of a raise from where I was. The bad thing is that I have to move, and in moving I have to break my lease and start a new lease somewhere. And so I have actually paused my debt snowball. Now let me tell you what's so cool about this. I have recently been putting $1,000 on average towards my debt payment. And so I'm trying to get this paid off by February of 2019 at the latest. I still may be able to do that, but a lot of people, it would make a lot of people really nervous if all of a sudden they realize they have to get out of a lease. If I'm getting out early, I've got to pay the 2 months rent before I leave, plus whatever time I'm going to be here. So that would make people nervous. But it actually, once I sat and thought about it, it was really cool for me because I realized, hey, I just get to hit pause on my debt snowball, which sucks a little bit, but I can pick it right back up after I move and after everything's settled down. And I may be put off a few months by it. I'm going to try not to be, but I may be. And once I pause that, since I've been putting about $1,000 towards debt, some months it's been like $1,300, $1,400, just depending on the month. Then that's very easy to set aside $1,000 next month, which is May, and $1,000 in June, and then be able to move the 1st of July with that $2,000 plus the $1,000 that's in my emergency fund. No worries. I mean, I know I'm gonna have to get like a moving truck, and I know I'm gonna have to pay the 2 months of rent, but it's very doable since I've been managing my money well. Some people worry about only having $1,000 in an emergency fund while you're paying off your debt. By the time an emergency does happen while you're paying off your debt, you're gonna realize that you've managed your money so well, it's not gonna hurt you bad to hit pause on the debt snowball and just take that money and put it towards your emergency. And you don't have to take out any more debt. You don't have to put it on a credit card or anything like that. You can just set it aside and pay for it out of pocket and then pick right back up where you left off. So that was a really cool thing, and it made me realize even more how great doing this is. And then once I'm out of debt, the plan is to build a larger emergency fund. So I'm gonna walk you through what I've been doing with the debt snowball and how I figure that out and all that good stuff. So this is my monthly budget sheet, and you can see that I've got months from May all the way until April of this year, okay? And so I've got a category for everything: car insurance, electric, food, everything that we basically talked about in the last video. And I take any money that's left over and I put it towards an additional debt payment. I've got several debt snowball sheets going on here because sometimes for whatever reason the calculations aren't adding up correctly or whatever. And it my total that I owe on the student loan website is different than the total that I owe on the spreadsheet. And so I update it every few months. You can see I've got a few tabs here at the top. So I've got the old one. This was the very first one I ever did. And I didn't put a month here. I just kept the numbers on the side. I'll put the link below this video to download this. But you basically just enter your debts smallest to largest. So you go from here. I also made a mistake on this one too, because I just took the credit card off when I finished paying it, which didn't make sense. Anyway, so you start with your smallest debt, which was my student loans like they're lumped into one amount, but they're all different loans, if that makes sense. And so they've all got a different loan number or whatever. So I've got my smallest student loan, and the minimum payment on it and the interest rate. And then I go down the line with the credit card, student loans, all of that good stuff, okay? So once I enter that information, it's gonna pop up down here with the payment that I'm gonna make in whatever month I'm in. Now that payment's gonna change depending on what you put here. So in monthly extra, you're gonna put the amount that you can pay every single month, okay? That is like the definite, I'm setting this aside, I'm gonna make sure I'm paying it. So at that time, I was putting $400 towards this stuff, okay? You can also put a one-time startup here. That's gonna help to offset any of the payments further down the line. So it gives you your payment you're gonna make. So in month one, I'm gonna make all my minimum payments, and on this student loan 1-06, I'm going to make a $285 payment, okay? That's going to pay that loan off completely, okay? On student loan 1-05 in the first month, I'm going to make a $120 payment, okay? On the Barclay card, I'm making only a $27 payment, which you'll notice is the minimum payment on that, so I'm not paying any extra on the Barclay card. So this calculates exactly how you can split up that monthly extra to go towards your loans. Once this loan is paid off, you'll see I didn't use all $400 to pay off student loan 1-06. So then it just transferred over the rest of what was left to 1-05, okay? And it will do that every month. So in the second month right here, I'm paying on 1-05 $202.19. That includes the minimum payment, and that pays it off. So on the Barclay card, I'm paying $235.88, and that brings my balance down to $892.94. And basically, it just goes on down the line and shows you exactly how this works, okay, for every single month. Now, let's scroll all the way to the end here. So student loan 1-08 is my biggest loan, and here's the last payment on it, $305.93. Let's see how many months that would have taken me from starting. 28 months from the month I started this old budget spreadsheet. So that's a lot longer than what I've got it taking now because I've increased the monthly amount. Okay, I redid one more time on April 1st. So that was this month. This is the most recent one. Monthly extra is still the same, except I put $300 extra toward it. That's the month that I paid $1,300 on the debt. So that takes me from April to February still, but my payment in February on this one is a lot smaller than it was on this one because of that one-time startup. Now you can click in and add, let's see if I did it here. You can click in and add some extra money too. So I knew that in May I was going to try to pay $200 extra in addition to the $1,000. So I went in the formula and I just added it right here before the very last thing plus 200, and that took me up to a payment of $1,257, which gets that loan further down. And then yeah, I didn't add any extra anywhere else, but you have the ability to do that if you want to go in and add those extras. That's pretty cool. Now, obviously I said I'm pausing this, so next month, instead of making that May payment, I'm actually going to just set all of that money aside, and when I pick this back up, I'll change the months right here. So it may put me back to April. Now, I did say that I get a little bit of a raise with this job move, so it may not set me back that much if I make sure that I'm adjusting my funds correctly. And also, if I find a place with cheaper rent, then that will allow me to pay extra on my loans too. Now, the 200th tab is the emergency fund that I put begins on February 2019. And this is just so I can figure up, long-term planning what I need to do in terms of this. So I put for February 2,300. That's taking my 1,000 that's already set aside as an emergency fund and adding 1,300 to it, and then I'm contributing 1,300 to this every single month until I get up to 8,500. Now I figured up 6 months of living expenses for me is only $8,012, so I think 8,500 is a really great place to be in terms of an emergency fund. So that is all the information I have on my debt sheet calculator and all that stuff, my debt snowball. So I'm gonna link all that down below. Very easy to download and very easy to fill out. And it's kind of cool to challenge yourself that way. I like challenges like that, so I like get obsessed with it. But anyway, if you have any questions or need help with it, let me know.